Good morning, class. Today we will be discussing grammatical terms. These terms are very important because you will be writing an essay very soon, and if you have knowledge of these terms, it will lessen the likelihood of you having grammatical errors in your essay. So that's what we're striving for. That's our goal. You have a worksheet to follow along. I want you to define the terms as I'm reading them to you. You also have a blank activity sheet on page 2. When we get to the activity section of this lesson, you will turn that sheet over because after the lesson, you will complete that independently for assessment. So follow along and let's dive in. Now, I say review terms because I have introduced these terms to you, but we have not studied them in depth. So let's get to that. Number 1 is an independent clause. An independent clause is a group of words that can stand alone as a sentence. For example, if I said, "You look very pretty today," that is an independent clause. It is a complete thought. Number 2 is dependent clause, a group of words with a subject and a verb. It does not express a complete thought and it cannot stand alone as a sentence. For example, if I said, "If you want," well, that's not a complete thought. You have no idea what I'm talking about. It sounds like I just cut the sentence in half. So anything that isn't a complete thought is a dependent clause. Number 3 is pronoun, a word that takes the place of a noun. For example, she is a pronoun. Instead of me saying Madison looks pretty today, I would say she looks pretty today, she being the pronoun. Number 4 is preposition, a word that is used with a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase to show direction, location, or time. So under is a preposition. For example, the cleaning supplies is under the sink. Under being my preposition, it's showing direction. You're telling someone, or actually more so location. You're telling someone the location of the cleaning supplies. A direction would be, drive beyond the big tree and my house is on the left. It's beyond being your preposition. Keep that in mind, and prepositions should be easy to identify. Review continued. These definitions are what you really need to know for your paper. You will be writing your paper in first person point of view, and I want you to know second person point of view and third person point of view because you need to be able to distinguish here on out in what point of view you need to write your paper. You almost never write in second person. First person is when the narrator is referring to him or herself. So for example, if I said, "I am hot," that is from a first person point of view because I use the pronoun I. You're talking about yourself. You're referring to yourself. We is also a first person point of view pronoun. Number 7, second person point of view is when the writer is addressing the reader by using you. So you're addressing someone else by using the word you. And you will never use you in a formal essay. Using you is very informal. And number 8, third person point of view, you will use pronouns such as he, she, it, or they. You're talking about someone else. You're referring to someone else by saying the pronouns he, she, it, or they. Them is also a pronoun you would use in third person point of view, which is, by the way, what you will be writing most of your papers in. But for this particular assignment, we're going with first person. Now for the activity. So turn your activity sheet over. You're done taking notes. Because again, you will fill your activity sheet out independently. It's a little different from this one. In the first section, you are going to focus on whether the clause is independent or or dependent or both. And the second one, we're focusing on prepositions. So Carly, come on up here and do number 1. When the president arrives, that's the sentence. Is it a complete thought? Is it not a complete thought? Okay. Can I have Allie up here, please, to do number 2? If I am not there when you arrive, please wait patiently. This is a little more complex. It's a longer sentence and there's a comma present. So what do you think this one is? It is most definitely a complete thought, but what's going on here? Okay. Chad, can I have you up, please? To do number 3, our planets revolve around the sun. Okay. And last but not least, prepositions. And I know that there are only 2 questions involving prepositions, but I felt that you guys would probably have more trouble with prepositions than anything because there are so many of them. Many people are intimidated by prepositions. So I just wanted to give you an idea of how it would sound, I guess, how a preposition would go in a sentence, what purpose it serves, and filling in the blank will allow me to measure that understanding. So, Kayla, can you come up here, please? Look blank the counter. Do you see what that preposition does to this sentence? Look under the counter. It gives the reader direction. It gives the reader picture. That's why it is so important. And last but not least, can I have Aria come up here and move this one for us? I am looking for my purse. Have you seen it? So prepositions are pretty important, guys. Very, very good. Very good on the dependent and independent clause. I'm very proud of that. If I am not there when you arrive, that is your dependent clause because it is not a complete thought. Please wait patiently is a complete thought. That is your independent clause. And every single time you have a dependent clause and an independent clause, there will be a comma there. So as you're writing your paper, think about that. The next activity is a little more complex. You're going to be creating your own sentences using first person, second person, or third person point of view. So can I have Grady up here to do it first? I'm not going to help you. I want to see if you remember the pronouns you would use when using first person. Okay, you're going to need the pen for this. If it'll give it to you. Okay. And I want you to underline the pronoun that's representing the point of view. I am sleepy. Very, very good. And the pronoun is I. That is your first person pronoun, which is what you will be using in your paper. Okay, can I have Grayson up here? Create a sentence using second person point of view. Oh, goodness. You sing nicely. Very good. Very, very good. Very good. Impressed. And last but not least, Camden. Can you please come up here? Now I want you to create a sentence using third person point of view. She likes to dance. Good job. And she is your third person pronoun. And I know these are simple sentences, guys, but you displayed to me that you know the point of view you were supposed to be speaking in. And it makes me feel a whole lot better because I know you guys are going to go home, write your narrative essay using the correct point of view. Very good. Now, last but not least, we're going to discuss your homework. Your homework is a handwritten 2-page narrative about a life-changing event that has happened thus far. I know you guys are only in 7th grade, so I know that nothing too detrimental has happened in your life thus far, but I want you to write about something that that has highlighted your life, or that that's happened to you and you just think it's so cool, just something like that. Anything that you want to talk about that is about your life. But instead of 2 pages, guys, we're not going to do that. That's crazy. I'm not even sure why I put that. I want you to actually only write me 2 paragraphs tonight of your narrative essay, because I want to assess it tomorrow to make sure you are using those independent clauses. And maybe if you're combining dependent clauses with independent, there's a comma present. I want to make sure you're using the correct you're speaking in the correct point of view and things like that. So that's what we're going to really focus on. And you guys did an awesome job. Now what I want you to do is turn over your activity sheet. And you will complete this activity sheet on your own. It is fill in the blank. It's just like the one we did, except a little differently. I mean, it's constructed a little differently. You have until the bell to finish. When the bell rings, please place it in the appropriate box, but I want you to keep the first page of notes. I want you to take it home and refer back to it if needed. And that should really serve as a great help. It should really assist you while writing. If you aren't sure if what you wrote is a complete thought, refer back and think to yourself, remember the things we discussed today. Would my reader understand this? And if you're pretty hesitant, it's probably not a complete thought. But just remember all the terms that we have discussed. And you guys did a great job today. And I'm very, very proud of you all.